Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Hi, I'm Rich,
I am Teri.
and welcome to our Waggish Life channel. We're in lovely Lake. Was it Lake Hills?
Texas.
Lake Hills, Texas,
Yep.
which is right next to Lake Medina. We're at Thousand Trails campground, which is Thousand Trails Lake Medina campground, of course. We're actually sitting in the back of our campsite. We've got these beautiful mountain cedars behind us, or I guess they're junipers, I guess.
Yep.
Ash junipers, whatever. So they're that scrubby brush feeling here. A lot of limestone. We're kind of in the hills of Texas, north by northwest of
San Antonio.
San Antonio. So it's kind of an interesting area.
Yeah.
It reminds us a lot of Southern California.
Yeah, California.
But I guess if you're from Texas, Southern California reminds you a lot of the hill country of Texas or Central Texas. So, but anyway, but these junipers, I guess, are pretty common here.
Yep.
It's the first time we've kind of seen them in the hills here on it. But we saw them most of our ride yesterday because we took some back roads and kind of looped up toward Austin and then kind of came down to where we are versus trying to take the highway on it. And actually took a pretty nice drive across something called the Devil's Backbone, which I guess is famous. It's supposed to be haunted.
Yeah. It goes up, I think it's Route 12, up over Canyon Lake.
Right.
Which is directly northeast of San Antonio.
Northeast of San Antonio, a little, probably south by southeast of Austin on it. So it's kind of in that buffer zone in between, on it. But what's interesting, we stopped at this little, I don't know, the rest area. It was pretty tight. It was kind of tight for us to get in with the trailer, but it was a little loop off the road, and it was really kind of bizarre. It was almost a little scary, freaky a little bit because. It was a chain link fence. Yeah, well, it was supposed to be an overlook, but all the trees it had a chain link fence around it, and all the trees on the other side were like grown up, so you really couldn't see anything. Right.
But on the chain link fence was all these like crosses and memorials of different people who had passed away. I don't know if they were. I mean, there wasn't like
road. One or two. There was probably a couple of hundred, and some of them had been there quite a few years, and some of them put a lot of work into them. There was actually a little bit of an art piece to it.
Really.
Almost kind of like a southwestern cultural type thing. Some were made of tin, some made of wood on it, but it was really some were just looked like mementos for individuals and stuff.
Yeah, some of them were like bandanas that had been written on. A little like rest in peace,
right?
And a little saying.
I saw dog tags there. I mean, it was
I saw like locks.
Yeah, people put locks on the fence, similar to what they do in the bridges up in was it in London? I think they have the locks for you lock your log together, two locks together. So some of that, but it was interesting. We'll put some video up here so you can see it. But it's it really, on it. So we did a little research trying to figure out what the heck all this was, and Teri found a really neat article, and
it was written a few years ago, and it was about how that stretch of the road was kind of haunted.
And we'll put a link to the article here down below so you guys can read it, so we give proper credit to everybody and things. But some of the stories is that there's a lot of sightings of people who have passed away, or miners, families that were looking for their lost miner to recover their bodies. You know what I mean? There was I'm trying to think of some of the other stories. It was.
I think that some of them were about Indians who had lived here in the past.
Right. There was rumors that some farmer came out, a ranch hand came out of his bungalow or his ranch house or whatever it is, and and saw 40 individuals on horses riding by that were lost in the Civil War. But so there's a lot of folklore into this area. There's a lot of hill country. There was a lot of Native Americans things that made this area its home for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah.
Lake Medina itself wasn't here back in the 1800s. It's actually dammed.
Yeah.
And we took a little ride. It's hard to see the dam, so our footage isn't really great for it. But we took a really bizarre ride kind of down through the hills. And you'll see from some of the pictures that will link to this or tie into the video that it really does feel like Southern California if you've ever been to it.
It would be an amazing ride with a convertible.
Oh, yeah.
Not with a truck and an RV.
That's right. So
we didn't have the RV attached to the truck when we took these pictures.
Right. So,
just so you know.
Yeah, on it, because we went into some tight spots, and it was actually mini little canyons that were man-made and stuff that when they put the roads in and stuff. And then we tried to go down to see the dam because it was signs to the dam, but you really couldn't get to it.
No,
you know what I mean? And
it was fenced off, and the brush on the other side of the fence again was overgrown.
Right.
So you could, if you held the camera up high enough, or you were high enough in the truck, you could see some of it.
So it's an interesting area. We probably drove 10 miles south of here. We're actually going to go, I think today is Sunday, so we're actually going to probably take a ride down towards San Antonio, maybe try to see the Alamo without the trailer. And maybe later today, if not today, tomorrow. Sorry about the light coming across here, but it's changed a little bit underneath the trees.
Well,
but
it just gives it a little roary, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of spooky behind here, to be honest with you.
Oh,
at night,
at sunset?
At sunset, it gets pretty. And the thing about it is we have lots of deer here, more deer here.
Oh.
And these deer actually have antlers. And they come through here and they kind of walk through the junipers here, and they'll come out. They don't really come to the campsite because of the dog, but when we first came in here, they were in the campsite. And then they actually kind of go around it, and we see them all the time. So and there's a lot of birds here, as you can probably hear in the background a little bit.
I think there's a couple of owls here because at night you hear this ooh, ooh.
Yeah, they kind of answer each other. So
yeah.
And what's really nice is right behind here, I can take Sadie for a little walk, and we can go down into. There's a nice little trail here and stuff, which I think I'm actually going to do a separate video just on, kind of bookmark them as just Sadie's walks, versus trying to make these videos too long, but because they're 15 minutes or so, but they're really soothing. Maybe I'll put some music to them. We actually use this type of stuff when we go away with our dog and put it on the TV and put it on a loop, you know what I mean? And so, you always see constant motion and stuff like this, and it makes the dog a little bit more quieter for a little bit before she starts barking crazily. But anyway, but that's kind of the what's going on here. We have a lot of video of a lot of different things that we've taken the last few days that we need to catch up. We apologize for not doing a video yesterday. We just weren't kind of feeling the groove a little bit. And the day before was a travel day, so we typically don't do them in travel days. This is too much, because when we do these things, it takes 15-20 minutes to film it, and 10 minutes to get set up, and then it takes a couple of hours to edit it usually. So what somebody said, we always say good morning, but the posting doesn't go up till the afternoon, and it's like we're still like. Yeah, as one of my lovely children said, how come you say good morning and you put it up in the afternoon? It was like, well, things happen, you know what I mean? So, and sometimes we really don't have good internet access, so it takes a while to upload these videos. And so, once we do it and I edit it, I have to create a file from that edit, and that usually takes anywhere between 10 to 30 minutes. And then from that, we actually end up uploading it, and the last one actually took well over an hour to upload because we had such slow service, and we actually said heck with it. We went out and took a little ride, and when we came back, it was ready to go. So on. Sadie's here.
Sadie's here.
Can't really see her on the camera, but she's off to the side, so get on it. So, but anyway, it's really nice here today. It's very little humidity, and I'm going to reach down here and pull the cord up because this is Teddy's. Which will be tie her to.
Come here, Sadie.
Come here. Can you say up here?
Say hello.
Come here. Oh, there's Sadie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
you see the back end of her.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, she's gonna give Daddy kisses.
Oh yeah. I love you too. Come on. Okay. All right. Go find the ball. Where's the ball? Go find the ball. I don't know where the ball is. Go in the so now she wants to play. So this is obviously going to be to the tail end of our video. So but we're where were we? We have a lot of different stuff. We actually went up to a little town in where the heck was it? LaGrange. That was recommended to us, and that was a really cool little town. Actually, I liked that better than Columbus.
The architecture was like
right. And
wonderful.
Teri got a chance to go to a quilt museum there. So.
Yeah.
So on it, but we'll put that together in something else. There's some history there too, which I love to go over some of the history because there's a lot of good plaques kind of told about the history and
you know, I often wonder if kids that grow up here and go to elementary school here, their history books, do they learn about Lexington and Concord, or do they learn about the Texas Republic?
Well, you got to remember, Texas was an independent. I mean, the history of Texas, it was an independent country for a couple of years.
I know. And
then it became, it was annexed into the United States. In fact, we're listening to a book. We've only got into about an hour of it, and about Texas. It's basically, to me, some interesting historical facts, but some trivial facts about Texas, about some of the famous people. But I didn't realize it. But Texas actually is the only state in the Union that the federal government can't build anything without getting permission from the Texas legislature because it was a country before, and that's what they negotiated when they came in on it. It was also negotiated that Texas could break up into 5 additional states if they wanted to. And I guess there's been talk about Texas breaking up into 2 states at some point, just because of the size.
Because it's so big.
On it, but because there's over 25 million people here. But it's also, the second largest state next to Alaska, landmass wise. So I think it's the second in population next to California. So it's a big state. The road infrastructure here is just phenomenal. And the speed limit is like. I find myself struggling to do the speed limit in a lot of places. Like I look up and I'm like, well, I'm doing 70. Why people pass me? I look up at 75 miles an hour. I'm like, holy crap.
It doesn't matter if you take the highway or the back roads. It's still the same.
You should just
speed
in
limit.
Texas. Here's a hint for Texas: just take the most direct route to the location you want to go. Don't try to go up and around. Just go directly there because the roads that go directly there, even if they're back roads, are probably 75 miles an hour. And it's funny because they'll come up and you'll see a corner sign. And it'll say 55. And you're coming up to it and you go like, I don't think I can take this corner doing 55. You know what I mean on it. And then right after that, there's a stop sign in the middle of on this road. You see a speed limit of 75 and the next there is 70 miles an hour. And the next thing you know, literally half a mile down the road, there's a stop sign and you're like, holy crap, they don't give you a lot of warning here to stop.
No.
So
sometimes you come around the corner and the stop sign's there. And then the warning of the stop sign is when you come around the corner, and then you come around the corner and it's right there.
If you get a speeding ticket in Texas, you have to really work at it. You know what I mean? Because it's so everything. It's really, you have to work at it. That's my feeling. But anyway, so we just wanted to kind of give you a little update of where we are. We may do some little unique videos concentrating on maybe this Lagrange, and may do a little bit more of a video on double backbone there because that was kind of interesting and stuff, and maybe do a little fun video with that and stuff. And then we may do some other stuff with, as we kind of go and see some other sites and stuff, on it. And but anyway, so like everything else, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and you'll get notification. Ring the bell. There's a little bell up. If you're watching it on TV, you don't see that stuff. If you're on your phone or your iPad or whatever, you can give us the thumbs up. Yeah, give us a thumbs up. It would be great.
If you like what you saw.
It all helps with the YouTube algorithm as more people see our videos and stuff, on it. And we're trying to get a little bit more sophisticated with our editing and things. We're using, kind of not very sophisticated software right now, but kind of learning the ropes a little bit. So we'll get better over a period of time, and trying to deal with lighting issues and keeping the dog quiet and trying to find good spots to do it and all that good stuff. So anyway, hope you enjoy it.
Yep. Keep cool in the north. It's still warm up there.
Yeah, actually, it's kind of nice here. You guys would actually love it.
It's
no humidity.
Here.
It's probably 90, 92 degrees, but there's a very light breeze. That's kind of hard to tell here right now.
And it's not like you step outside the trailer and you just, work, the sweat just runs off.
I find it much more comfortable than Florida, even though it's hotter. than Florida.
Texas.
I know. I find
then
Texas,
Florida.
then Florida,
Gotcha.
much more comfortable. At least where we are here. I can't say if we go south or out and thing, but we have a lot of shade at this campsite too, which is kind of nice. If we were out in the sun beaten to death, I think I'd probably feel a little differently being beaten to death by the sun. But.
And it's kind of quiet here. It's we're away from the lake.
Yeah.
We're in the quiet section.
Yeah, the lake is here is kind of crazy.
A little chaotic.
Yeah, a little chaotic, you know what I mean, on it. So we'll probably do a little video just about the campsite and do some. This is not as nice as I think as the last one we were at, but it has a completely different feel to it.
Yep.
And
we don't, when we come into places like this, we don't use a lot of the amenities. I've yet to be in a swimming pool.
Yeah.
But I don't really care.
Yeah, we wanted a nice private campsite with some shade this time of year at least, like some place for the dog to be able to go out and do her thing, and we can play, and she can bark and do all the things without bothering anybody. Hopefully some walking trails. Here it's perfect. The walking trails are behind us, but that's what we usually ask. We're like, I go in, I say, give me something. Where's something quiet? Because we get to pick our own site out, because the Thousand Trails is kind of first come first serve. So you just kind of drive around until you find something you want. So, but anyway. Yeah. So you guys have a good Sunday.
Yeah. Enjoy your day.
And subscribe.
Yep. Remember that.
And ring the bell. And hit thumbs up.
Thumbs up, guys.
All right.
All right.
Have a good one.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.